Every single night you practice dying, not symbolically, not metaphorically, literally. You lie down, the lights go off, and within minutes, the world you know begins to disappear. Your name loosens its grip, your memories blur, time collapses into nothing, and then you are gone. No fear, no resistance, no questions. Morning arrives and you return as if nothing happened. But what if something did happen? What if sleep is not rest, but a tiny death you survive every night? Stay with me till the end, because once you truly see what sleep is, death may stop feeling like the enemy you imagine it to be. Think carefully about the last time you slept. At what exact moment did you disappear? There is no clear boundary. One thought fades into another. Awareness thins, and suddenly the person you protect all day, your identity, is no longer present. You don't remember your worries. You don't remember your achievements. You don't even remember your body. Breathing continues. The heart works flawlessly. Life is fully active. Yet you are absent. Yogic science says this is the most important clue about death that humans ignore. Because death is not when the body stops. Death is when identity withdraws from form. By that definition, sleep and death are not strangers. Modern science studies sleep from the outside: brain waves, hormones, circadian rhythms. Yogic science studies sleep from the inside. It sees sleep as a controlled collapse of individuality. In waking life, awareness is entangled with thought. In dreaming, awareness is entangled with memory. In deep sleep, awareness stands alone, without content. This is why deep sleep feels so peaceful, not because something is added, but because almost everything is removed. You don't experience joy there. You don't experience pain. You experience absence. And absence is deeply restorative. In Mystic Musings, Sadhguru makes a quiet but radical statement. People think death is frightening, but every night they dissolve without protest. Sleep is the only time human beings surrender completely, without prayer, belief, or effort. No one asks, "Will I come back?" No one negotiates terms. No one holds control. You simply fall. The same surrender, when permanent, is called death. When you wake up refreshed, notice this carefully. Sleep refreshes you, not because the mind worked, but because the mind stopped asserting itself. Your daily exhaustion does not come from activity. It comes from carrying a psychological identity without pause. I am this. I must become that. I failed here. I succeeded there. Sleep dissolves all of it temporarily. Death dissolves it completely. The relief you feel in the morning is a hint, not an accident. Ancient yogic texts describe states on a single spectrum: waking, full identity; dreaming, fractured identity; deep sleep, dissolved identity; death, irreversible dissolution. Not separate events, different depths of the same process. This is why time vanishes in sleep. This is why people awaken saying, "I slept like I was dead." Language remembers what logic forgets. Fear requires continuity. It needs memory. It needs anticipation. It needs a solid me. The moment identity loosens, fear has nothing to attach to. That is why even the most anxious person sleeps peacefully, and why no one screams while falling asleep. Death frightens the waking mind, but sleep proves fear cannot exist without identity. In Mystic Musings, Sadhguru says if you become conscious of the moment you fall asleep, you will understand death is not a break, it is a release. This is why yogis practice yoga nidra and conscious sleep, not for relaxation, but to remain aware while dissolving. They are rehearsing the ultimate letting go. For an advanced yogi, sleep is not unconsciousness, it is entry. A thin flame of awareness remains even as identity disappears. This is why some yogis sleep only a few hours. They do not lose themselves anymore. For them, death will not be unfamiliar. They have crossed its doorway thousands of times. When you lie down, notice how willingly you surrender. You don't demand proof. You don't ask for certainty. You simply let go. If surrender is so natural in sleep, perhaps death is not frightening because it is unknown, but because we resist trusting what has no form. Yogic wisdom says life exhausts you by holding on, death rests you by letting go. Sleep is the smallest death you already trust. If this shifted how you see sleep, share it with someone who fears death but loves rest. Like this video if these yogic insights resonated deeply, and subscribe for more info into consciousness, dissolution and mystic musings. Tonight as sleep arrives, notice how effortlessly you already know how to disappear.